On the season, Jesse McPherson will be opposed today by Callie Hogarth for the Merrimack Warriors. Last game of 2023 for the Catamounts. They will not return to action until the 2nd of January. And with that, as soon as we do get a shot of the coaches on the bench, it's, I hesitate to say it's ugly sweater day because I think they both look sharp, but Alex Gettins and Jim Plumer are feeling festive here this afternoon in the last game before the holiday break. They'll do the teddy bear toss later on to benefit local kids' charities as well. Always a fun time of year in Catamount country. But this team right now for the Catamounts and Jim Plumer, 2-6 in their last 8. It's almost as if a break may be welcome here to kind of reset and get ready for the second half of the season and the charge toward the playoffs in Hockey East. Catamounts 6-6-0 in Hockey East. Meanwhile, Merrimack, again, they've been in a ton of games. They've played 16, 5 of those gone to overtime. Haven't won one of those just yet, losing in a shootout to New Hampshire in the only tie of the season for them in conference. As the puck is down, we're underway here from Gutterson Fieldhouse. Again, it's Jesse McPherson in goal for Vermont. McPherson this season checking in 6-4-1 with a .227 goals against and a .910 save percentage. Alina Tansky from Malenkova, shot off the crossbar, rebound, score! 30 seconds in, the Catamounts strike first. Krista Parkkinen picking up the loose change and banging it home for a Catamount 1-0 lead. Get a look at the rebound. Malenkova doing her thing, getting a quick release off. She clangs it flush off the left post, but the rebound goes to Parkkinen. She's able to pounce on it. Krista Parkkinen having a tremendous season, 16 career points in this, the middle of her sophomore year. That's point number 11 this season, so she's already doubled her production from a year ago. And we're not yet halfway through. Vermont with a 1-0 lead, 30 seconds deep. Parkkinen's second of the season for Parkkinen goal-wise to go along with 9 assists. Centering pass out in front, chip just wide as Merrimack gets a great opportunity to try and tie the game. Alina Tansky picking up assist with Malenkova. Here's Merrimack again with a shot. That rises off the glass just high and wide. Sent back to the point, taken there by Blackburn. Cross-ice pass off the stick of Crows. Along the wall, the Catamounts can pull it out. That's Rosemary Brochu, the freshman for this Catamount team that has several in the starting lineup that dress nightly for Jim Plumer. Up the wall, kept in. Good pinch by Ted Envy. Chopped wide to the far side, taken there by McKinley. McKinley sends it back to the point. Engels shuffles it down low. Qualley sent it around. Pointed now back for Chang. Right point shot never got through. Anapodian got the pads on that. Sent up the wall for Humphrey to take, and Humphrey will scoot it out now for Skelton. Skelton working one-on-one with Peyton Evans back. Skelton takes it wide. Tried to drop it off the wall back for Humphrey, and it's stolen away by Qualley. Qualley and Parkkinen come together. Parkkinen adjusts her off the puck. McKinley comes in to take. Malenkova steps into her. Shuffled up the wall for Humphrey. Outletted now for Ikos. Ailey Ikos, defender for the Catamounts, sends it around the wall. Merrimack 2 at first. The Warriors chip it to some safety on the near side. Parkkinen pinching in from the point. She's got the game's first goal, 30 seconds deep for a Catamount 1-0 lead. Ikos pinches in. Malenkova tried to peel it away and couldn't. Tap back in deep as the Catamount forecheck starts off this contest relentless. Kept in at the line briefly by Brooke George, but she's got to retreat back out to center. Kaylee Lewis now. Lewis shimmies her way down the left wing. Met there by Gisler. Brooke George. Shouldered by Gisler. Malenkova comes in to take. Natalie Malinkova for Brooke George. Back to Malinkova covering the point, and it's sticked away by Race Zott. All the way in on McPherson. She steers it to Malinkova to keep the play alive. Natalie reverses. Serrato through Parento, all the way around for George. George will just reverse it for Bella Parento. Now the forecheck by Merrimack giving the Catamounts problems. Warriors take over briefly. Brooke George trying to battle through. Haley Burns comes in. Sent back to the point for a shot. Last second saw it. McPherson made a save and then got the rebound stuck wide. Sarah Hurst was on the doorstep, and she just couldn't tap it through the door. Haley Burns trying to chip this one in. Merrimack with a couple of great chances since the Catamounts got their first goal. Big hit. Blaise Savoy will sit for a body check. As soon as Podine touches the puck, we'll get our first penalty of the game, and Merrimack will go to the power play for interference. So Blaise Savoy for interference rather than the body check. Catamounts to the kill here with a 1-0 lead. Goaltender matchup, we mentioned the stats for Jessie McPherson. On the other side, Callie Hogarth. 16 starts this year, 5-9-2 with a .227 goals against and a .916 save percentage. So goaltending has not been the issue for Merrimack. Bad puck luck with 5 overtime losses is part of it. And just an inability to find the back of the net often enough, which is kind of what's plagued the Catamounts in their last 8. So Merrimack to the power play. Chang from the point as they work it around. Good play by Sarah Levesque, and she gets a clear. Trying to go quickly down one wing and then back to the high slot, and Sarah Levesque sniffed that out proper and was able to get the Catamounts a clear. Chang ahead for Qualley. Qualley guided off the puck by Podine. Maddie Skelton wraps the heart around. Kaylee Lewis tips it out to center. Kaylee Lewis on the top line now with Natalie Malinkova and Elena Tansky. Haley Burns drops down to skate with Ezra Owen and Mackenzie Serrato to start this contest. Merrimack's offside, and that gives the Catamounts a free clear. Peyton Evans got it into the zone. Centered for Rabb. Nice shot there by Engels, cutting in deep. Left now for Reed. Back to the point. Right point. Oosterveld tried a diagonal pass. Sarah Levesque got in the way of that. Chip to the point. Evans able to keep it in. Along the wall, Merrimack tried to send it back to the point, but Peyton Evans was starting to step to her right to get in position, and puck ended up staying on her left. Engels now, a step on Parkinen. Engels chopped it just wide. Thought she had a player cutting on the back door, but no one was home. Oosterveld sends it down low with 20 seconds left to go on the penalty. Back to the point, Evans. Oosterveld tapped it down low. Oosterveld now in the circle with it. Straight away, Evans. Evans a shot through traffic, save McPherson. Rebound, score! Merrimack knocks home the loose rebound and ties the game at 1 with a power play goal. I think McPherson may have thought she had this. Right there, she thought she was on it, but good hustle and a good effort by Allison Reeb. And Merrimack ties the game at 1. Reeves' third goal of the season. Zott off the face-off wing, guides it down the left wing wall. Bella Parento to it first. 1-4 checker, so she reverses. Rosemary Brochu back for Parento. Quickly ahead to Humphrey. Humphrey faked the out to Skelton. Now taken by Skelton across the line. Sends it back up the wall. Humphrey diagonal down low for Brochu. Brochu trying to throw a backhander to a waiting Skelton. Never got there. Skelton does recover and works it now back for Brochu. Humphrey behind the net. Good takeaway there by McKinley. McKinley softly up the wall, kept in by Brooke George. Catamounts able to keep it in. Nemez. Brooke George pinching. Blackburn trying to whack it out to center. That's Qualley, pardon me. Catamounts a good job of keeping it in. Good forecheck. Brooke George has to go out to center for this one. And Parkman will chase back. Penalty upcoming on Merrimack. It'll be a trip. Catamounts with the power play in a 1-1 game here at Gunderson Fieldhouse. 12:35 left to play in the first. We'll step aside. Catamount power play coming up. Alex Gettins, assistant coach for the Catamounts, looking festive on this final game before the new year for the Catamounts. That is a good-looking sweater, Mr. Gettins. I'm not sure who's cooler, Alex or the Santa, wearing the shades on there. Jim Plumer also appropriately dressed for the festive season. Catamounts would like to get festive on this power play and take back a lead. Blaise Savoy wins the faceoff back to Parkman, who's got the Catamount goal. Malinkova picked up an assist on it. She curls back on the wing and works it back to Blaise Savoy. Evelyn Blaise Savoy through traffic, fires, deflected out front. Not sure it ever got through on Hogarth. Catamounts dig out the rebound from the corner. Now Natalie Malinkova. Cross ice for Parkkinen. Parkkinen back to Malinkova straight away. Malinkova fires. That goes off the back of Humphrey into the right wing corner. Parkkinen pokes it to Kaylee Lewis. Tip to the near side for Blaise Savoy. Blaise Savoy buried by Evans in the corner. Goes down. Parkkinen's there to pick her up, and we've got a hand pass on the Catamounts. Eight minutes deep into the contest. 1-1. Catamounts scoring 30 seconds in. And then a power play goal for Merrimack has tied the game at 1. Catamounts getting their first power play. Haley Burns on the face-off in the neutral zone, won by the Warriors. Zarconi to Bella Parento. Now Natalie Zarconi, freshman blue liner for the Catamounts. To Laura Beecher, the Rookie of the Year a year ago in Hockey East. Hammer to the line. Parento couldn't knock that one down with the glove. She'll have to come back and chase. And the Catamounts are halfway through their power play. No chances yet. Zarconi had that go off her skate. She's able to force her way in and kick it now to Skelton. Skelton back to Zarconi. Backs up to find some space. Bella Parento snapped a shot that went off the stick of Oosterveld and into the screen. The Catamounts will get an offensive zone draw. 42 seconds left on the Catamount power play. Face-off win to Parkkinen clean. Now Blaise Savoy at the point. Left wing side for Lewis. Straight away now Malinkova. Quarterbacks this power play. Hands it. One-timer. Blaise Savoy rebounds loose. Cleared into some traffic and bounces back behind the net. Lifted high off the window. Comes down off the dasher. Blaise Savoy had to adjust to that. Then she took a big bump from behind, and a penalty's upcoming. And it'll be on Merrimack. McPherson to the bench for the extra attacker. And Blaise Savoy just gives it up quickly, so they'll get 16 seconds of 5-on-4 time. Or 5-on-3 time, pardon me. Call is boarding. Alexander Bergeron, Scott Prim, the referees on the lines today. Jacob Lindenhall and Robert Lemna. So 16 seconds of 5-on-3 time here. Malinkova will take the draw. Blaise Savoy Parkkinen at the points with Humphrey and Lewis on the wings. Face-off win to Parkkinen. Now Blaise Savoy hands it back to Malinkova. Down low, Humphrey back to Parkkinen. Now Malinkova, top of the circle, fires a shot, and that's sticked aside by Hogarth. Parkkinen down low, Blaise Savoy's one-timer went off of Peyton Evans. Hurst is back out onto the ice, so it's a 5-on-4 now. Lewis back to Malinkova. Malinkova fired a shot that went into Evans. Malinkova was able to find it out of her skates. Parkkinen on the half wall, comes together with Humphrey. Parkkinen steps through the traffic, drops it back for Lewis. Backhanded once again for Parkkinen. Top of the right wing circle, finds Malinkova, tipped away. Hurst with a great poke check, and Hurst is going to try and break away. Hurst in, one-on-one, shorthanded, save made by McPherson. McPherson got the waffle board on it and keeps this game tied at 1. 1 minute left on the power play. For the Catamounts, who've had consecutive power plays here, nearly 4 full minutes on a power play, 16 seconds of 5-on-3 that they haven't cashed in on. 1-1 game with Zarconi at the point. Zarconi now for Parento. Beecher, a shot goes through traffic and missed the net. Zarconi, Bella Parento. Right wing side, Beecher again. Drop down low, backhander Haley Burns trying to stuff it in. Rebounds loose at the side of the net. And finally, there is a whistle as a pile of players lands on top of Callie Hogarth. Catamounts with just 3 shots on goal in the game. Their first went in at 30 seconds of the contest. They are getting good puck movement and zone time on this extended, basically 4 minutes of power play, but they've not been able to generate many shots. Haley Burns has her pocket picked, hammered around. Zarconi steps in to keep that in. Back to the point for Bella Parento. 8 seconds left on the power play. Beecher, a shot, not sure Hogarth ever saw it. Ends up going over top of the crossbar. Now the Catamounts again getting the looks, but not finding the net. This one will be an icing as Oostervelde just stepped out of the penalty box. So that is icing. Catamounts will get an offensive zone draw, but we're back to 5-a-side hockey as Merrimack kills off 16 seconds of a 5-on-3 and nearly 4 minutes straight of Catamount power play. Brochu to take the face-off. Opposite of Edmonds. Catamounts win it to the point, but they can't keep it in as Levesque has to drop back out to center. Anna Podine. Sarah Levesque. Ahead for Podine. Podine across the line and onside. Swings it wide on the left wing. Mackenzie Serrato trying to center it. Had Brochu cutting to the net. Brochu gets in front of that outlet pass, knocks it down. Lindbergh couldn't skate free, and it's taken away by Rosemary Brochu. Finds Ezra Owen. Owen across the line, fires a shot, and a save by Hogarth, and she's able to hang on. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in this Hockey East matchup's first period. Merrimack with a power play goal has answered the Catamount early goal, and we're tied at 1. All the way. Coach Plumer would like to keep things festive here as he urges his team to let's go. Catamounts just 2-8 in their last, or 2-6 in their last 8. In every game, and that's the thing about Hockey East, you know, from the top to the bottom, you're still playing tough. Night in, night out. Catamounts surprised this year by Maine and how good they are. Maine went 3-0 against Vermont this season, sweeping the Catamounts. Centering pass out in front goes through the slot all the way back to Eikos. Haley Eikos. Centering pass. Tansky chipped it just wide. Rebound to Lewis. Back out for Parkkinen. Catamounts continue to buzz despite not scoring on the power play. Lewis cuts to the net. Tansky couldn't get it to her. Tried to cycle it behind the net. Malinkova tried to lift the puck to herself. That didn't work, and it's chipped out by Reeb. Reeb's got the goal on the power play. That's got this game tied for Merrimack. Malinkova hit the post with a shot. That Parkinen banged home for a rebound goal. Now Malinkova stops on the right wing wall, sends it across Brooke George, but a good active stick by Sophie McKinley knocks it back out to center. Brooke George takes it herself, has Beecher. They're 2-on-4 though as the Catamounts are completing a line change. Beecher had that drop back to her. McKinley to it first, off the forecheck by Blaise Savoy. A shot as Beecher was able to recover and get that back to Blaise Savoy, who was hot off the bench on the forecheck. Parkinen for Brooke George. A little bit too far for Beecher, and this one will go the length of the ice and be whistled for icing. 6:44 left to play in the first, all tied at 1 apiece. Rob Ryan on this final game of the regular season for the Catamounts in 2023. Next at home against St. Mike's. Not quite a cross-town rival, but the next town over rival from Colchester. A recent addition to Division I. St. Michael's will be here on the 2nd of January. That'll be a Tuesday night. New Year's Eve on a Sunday, New Year's Day on a Monday. Bonus day off for everybody. Chipped out of the zone. Merrimack trying to get back on the front foot here as power plays for the Catamounts have had them hemmed in a bit. They still lead shots on goal 5-3. Oosterveld drops this off. Gisler lost the handle on it. Blaise Savoy lost the handle on her stick. She'll retreat to get that, but Maddie Skelton's got the puck, and that's the most important thing. Skelton had a poke checked away back out to center, picked up and backhanded it by Edmonds. She'll come off on a line change in the final 5:55 of the first. Parkinen spinning away from the forecheck of Lindberg. Ahead for Humphrey. Humphrey gains the red line. Tried to slip it in deep. Knocked away by the defensive Merrimack at the blue line. Parkinen. Puck stalemated along the wall by the red line. Humphrey. Ingles steps into that. Icos knocks down a wobbly puck. Harassed though, and the puck taken away there by Ferguson. Ferguson sends it in deep. Lindberg on the forecheck. Getting some help there from Engels, pinched in from the point. Catamounts a nice job of keeping Merrimack wide for the most part, 5-on-5. Engels trying to center it. Nothing there. The Catamounts peel it off the wall. Rosemarie Brochu backhands it up the left wing for Humphrey. Humphrey across the line with Skelton offside, as Skelton was a step in, and that'll bring us to our final timeout of the first period. 4:58 left to play in the first. Catamounts 1, Merrimack 1. Back live at Gutterson Fieldhouse here in Burlington, Vermont. Catamount bench got off to a good start 30 seconds into the contest. Pair of Catamount netminders having a chit-chat. That's Ellie Simmons, who got a start when McPherson was injured. Sydney Correa got a couple of starts after that. McPherson back. Picked up a big win over Northeastern, but fell twice on the road last weekend to fall to 6-6-0 in Hockey East. Merrimack lost 8 straight before winning back-to-back games. Lost to UConn in their lone game last week as Malinkova 3-on-2 across the line with Lewis. Right side Tansky. Tansky has to turn it around. Lewis trying to back it up for Malinkova. Taken away by Merrimack. Bella Parento pinches in deep. Chipped to the point, but covered there And skating free is Tidenby. Tidenby going to play the Four Nations Cup for her home country of Sweden this year. Having a terrific season, Tidenby. Being quiet here tonight on the puck, but it's been a lot of PK time for Merrimack for stretches of this period. The Catamounts really kept Merrimack pinned in a little after the power plays ended as well. Icos chops that one away. Picked up and skated in, though, by Zott. Zott left the puck behind. Blaise Savoy swooped in to get it. She's tangled up by a Warrior player. To Assad, battle along the end wall. Kicked free and a loose puck. Merrimack squirts it to the near side right. Gisler at the line. Edmonds stepping through. Just couldn't get back on the puck as Beecher was there. Zott pinches down. Ray Zott. Blaise Savoy to it first. Works it past Hurst to the near side. Pinching in Oosterveld. Oosterveld's able to take it away from Icos. Trying to backhand a pass out in front. Oosterveld and Icos go down. Who's this penalty on? It's going to be on the Catamounts. Blaise Savoy, I believe. And Blaise Savoy touches up and the whistle stops play. It's going to be an interference call, and kind of looked like coincidental contact with both teams kind of battling for the puck, but it's Blaise Savoy who sits for another 2 minutes, her second penalty of the period. So the Catamounts to the kill once again. Merrimack's 1 for 1 on the power play. Blaise Savoy for interference, her second interference penalty of the evening. Face off one, back to the point, Chang. Chang left point for Tidenby. Back to Chang. Qualley plays the angle behind the net. Tidenby took a whack from Tansky, but moved the puck all the way around. Edmonds with a nice move. Chang at the point. Qualley fires one high and wide. All the way around. Tidenby had come into the circle, so she's not there to get it. And it's back out to center. 30 seconds into the kill for the Catamounts. Qualley on the right wing. Sets it back for Chang. Tidenby back to Chang. Now Qualley. Qualley had Edmonds parked out top of the blue paint. Chipped all the way around now for McKinley. McKinley leaves it for Tidenby. Tidenby slides one back door looking for Qualley cutting. It was just too far. Kaylee Lewis now slowly stops and will rack some more time off by sending it back to Parkkinen. Parkkinen Levesque play catches. Time tick, tick, ticks under a minute on the power play. 1:45 left to play in the period. Oosterveld will start the breakout for Merrimack by leaving it to Evans. Peyton Evans back to Oosterveld. Oosterveld avoids the stick check of Levesque, but can't avoid it from Kaylee Lewis. And Lewis flips it, high stick down. Catamounts touch it, so that wipes out the high sticking. And now a little 3-on-1 down low. Backdoor pass. Oh, and a save by McPherson. Flashing the left pad. Have mercy. Back the other way. Skelton shorthanded. Skelton dangling. Couldn't turn the corner. Anna Podine takes. Chips back for Bella Parento. Ahead now for Brochu. Had it knocked off her stick. What a 10-bell save by Jessie McPherson on a 3-on-1. She had to go from right to left and got the big left pad on it. And keeps this game at 1-1. 3 seconds left on the power play. Bella Parento takes this. Catamounts are out of the woods. Blaise Savoy out of the penalty box. Brochu across the line. Drops it for Blaise Savoy. Blaise Savoy couldn't get through the stick check of Qualley. And now Bella Parento cycles back with 37 seconds left to go in this first period. Tansky sends it in deep. Will come off on a line change. Parkkinen chasing this one back, and it'll be an icing. So the Catamounts will get an offensive zone face-off with 25.3 left on the clock here in the first. Well, we've seen Jessie McPherson make a lot of great saves, but at the end of her illustrious career, that'll be probably in the top 10, I would imagine. Five-a-side hockey. Malinkovic to take the face-off. Blaise Savoy and Burns up front rolling with Natalie after the penalty kill. Lines are a little different for this final 25 seconds. Merrimack does a nice job winning the face-off. Catamounts have been very good in the face-off win category. Milinkovic takes this one down. 11 seconds left. Bella Parento for Parkening. Catamounts looking for one more rush. Blaise Savoy takes it wide with 3 seconds. Hauled down, and the Catamounts won't score in this final seconds, but they will get themselves set up for a power play to start the second. Don't know that they're going to put any time back on the clock here. I don't think they will. The teams are all heading off, so they just as soon end the period. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. So the penalty will come at the 20-minute mark, and we've played 20 minutes here in Vermont. Hockey East. Matchup of women's hockey. Number 15 Vermont won, and Merrimack won at the end of one. Here in Burlington, we got out-of-town scores and highlights coming up next in our intermission report. Start this second period, Evelyn Blaise Savoy was also called for a penalty at the end of the period, along with Ted Enby. So we skate 4-on-4 in a 1-1 game. Catamounts don't get a power play to start the period. So the original penalty was going to be on Blaise Savoy for hooking. And they're saying that the embellishment is on Ted Enby, which, in watching it live, feels backwards. But alas, 4-on-4 nonetheless. Shots on goal in that first period, 6-5 in favor of Merrimack. Catamounts with a lot of room for Natalie Milinkovic to operate. Beecher fires a shot, rebound. Came to Milinkovic, she just couldn't tee it up. Evans for Engels. Engels avoids the sweep check of Beecher, and Engels with some time and space. Up the wing finds Qualley. Qualley in for a shot, rings it off the bar. Engels. In the corner, Milinkovic trying to work it free. Edmonds came over for a peek, but Parento skates out of the pack, up ahead for Beecher. Beecher around the net. Hurst trying to back it through. Chang there digging. Parento in deep as well. Chang turns. Sent it out in front. Edmonds. Wide for Hurst. Hurst with speed. Centers one right through Edmonds' skates. Turned into a mini 2-on-1 down low. And Merrimack can't convert. 4-on-4 freewheeling hockey. Rosemary Brochu around the net. Works it back to Ikos. Ikos shot. That's blockered away. Rebound to Parkinen. Parkinen pulls the trigger. That's chopped out top of the slot. Never got through on net. Chip past Ikos and out, and this will be an icing on Merrimack. 8:14 left to go. 15 seconds left of the 4-on-4. Skelton to take the face-off offensively against Edmonds. Face-off win. Humphrey for Parkkinen. Parkkinen has Eikos. Eikos in, fires and scores! Haley Eikos' second career goal gives the Catamounts a 2-1 lead. Just a terrific look by Parkkinen. She does that quick, hesitating freeze and is able to smoothly move the puck to Eikos. And Haley Eikos makes no mistake. Far side posted in. Her second career goal, second of the season for the freshman. And it's now 2-1 Vermont. Again, a quick strike early in the period for the Catamounts. Now, interestingly enough, the scoreboard has an issue because the goal was scored and there's an extra second has ticked off of Blaise Savoy's penalty. That was weird, as it had 7 seconds on it, whereas there was 8 left on Tedenby's. Now Blaise Savoy out of the penalty box. Back to five-a-side hockey. Blaise Savoy spins one just wide of the far side post. Catamounts looking to strike quickly once again. Out of the zone and all the way down the length of the ice. McPherson watches this one go wide of the cage and whistled for an icing. Catamounts scored 30 seconds into the game. They scored less than 2 minutes here into the second. Eikos and Parkkinen, the goal scorers, a pair of blue liners. Tedenby. Off the wall, far side. Shot stick to side by McPherson. Parkkinen picks up an assist. She's working on a 2-point night now. Ferguson lost the handle. Lewis tried to skate through and couldn't. Tansky patrolling right at the blue line. Eikos and Lewis able to sweep it in and around. Parkkinen will pinch in, be first to it on the left wing wall. Parkkinen turns to protect. Sends it for Tansky. Off of Evans. Tansky recovers. Tansky to the point for Parkkinen. Parkkinen just sends it around the net all the way to the near side where Natalie Malenkova waits. Malenkova steps through one, spinning. Malenkova leaves it for Levesque, and a shot, and that deflected off the stick of Hurston into the corner. Tansky able to leave the puck for Malenkova with a good play with the body. Tansky gets it back. Drops it behind the net. Lewis had just popped out in front of the net, so no one's there for the Catamounts. Board work, though. They steal it away. Able to work it down low. Lewis couldn't chop that one out of the air. Lewis and Evans go into the corner. Humphrey comes in to pick it up. Lily Humphrey around the horn. All the way around. Humphrey pulls the trigger. It goes off a body out in front. Rosemarie Brochu knocks it down. Brochu behind the net as the Catamounts get fresh legs off a line change. Lily Humphrey fires a shot that's deflected just wide and then off the blocker of Hogarth. Skelton behind the net trying to send it back real quick to Brochu, but Brochu would cut in a little too deep, and Parkkinen will have to come back for this. Skelton across the line onside. Brochu goes to the net. Skelton fires it. Brochu deflects, rebounds loose on a backhand. Another save made by Hogarth. Dives out and collects the rebound and gets a whistle. Nifty little play. Brochu knew what to do there. Went right to the net and got in position to make a deflection. Hogarth made a terrific first save and was fortunate that it got tangled in the feet of Brochu, or she would have a great follow-up chance. Still managed to sweep a weak backhander on net to keep the pressure on, but Hogarth was hip to that and got the whistle. Beecher off the face-off win. It's been all Catamounts early on here in the second period. They've taken back their lead and have the first 2 shots of the period. One is which found the back of the net. Blaise Savoy chips it into the corner. Blaise Savoy backhands it along the kick plate, pokes it free to the near side. Merrimack's Oosterveld there, but chipped it right to Julia Mespled. Mespled couldn't work around one. Reverse back now. Crows through the body, but the Catamounts able to keep the puck. Bella Parento shifts back for Blaise Savoy. Chipped wide for a cutting Brooke George, who Shifts back to take it at the point. Now curls down the wall. Works it for Beecher. Beecher. Backhanded from Mispled. Mispled and Chang come together. Brooke George pinching in from the point. Beecher's got that point covered. Blaise Savoy. Now Brooke George. Stick handling down low. Blaise Savoy steps through. Good grinding shift by this Catamount line. Blaise Savoy continues on the backhand. Blaise Savoy for Parento. Chipped it, just couldn't get enough of it to steer it on net, and finally it pops out to center where Brooke George recovers. Merrimack desperately needs a line change here, as they're able to complete most of that right now. Chang will come off slowly. And the line change for Merrimack is finally complete. Catamounts though, Natalie Malinkova straight up ice. Hooked. No call. Moving on. Merrimack. Out to center for Parkkinen. McKinley shuffled out to center, taken there by Ezra Owen. Owen with a good forecheck. Brochu knocked that one back in, but wasn't sure if she'd be off or onside, so she had to halt her attack. Zott works it ahead and sends it in. Jesse McPherson out for a touch. Plays it quickly to Krista Parkkinen, who's had a terrific game so far. Parkkinen with a goal and an assist. Icos has the other goal. She moves it to Brochu, who touches it to Ezra Owen. Owen sends it in. Humphrey with a step on Zott. Or Evans, pardon me. Evans turning along that wall. 13:09 left to play. Centering pass. Levesque just couldn't lean into it. Good defensive play there. Made by Reeb. Picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson threw Reeb out to center where it's taken by Julia Mispled. Mispled trying to stick handle through some traffic, gave it up. Sent back out through center for Kaylee Lewis to take. Lewis stick handles past Ferguson, reverses back and sends it ahead now for Skelton. Skelton across the line. Mispled going to that. Skelton back to Parento. Parento fires a shot through traffic, save made by Hogarth, and the rebound is picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson at the blue line trying to poke it in deep. Lewis able to steer that back out. Bella Parento goes under her stick. She's got a step though, might be able to catch up to it, and does. Enough to take out the icing as Nemez just couldn't keep a step ahead of her. Now Hurst flips it ahead through Edmonds. Edmonds had to wait for Malinkova. Malinkova trying to steer it through Hurst. Hurst was knocked back by Zarconi. Then eventually Lewis up the wall for Nemez. Natalie Nemez in front of the Merrimack bench, sent it into some traffic. Hurst pulls it out, and Engels can skate across. Engels had a poke check right to Edmonds, though. Edmonds turns in the high slot, pinballing puck. Merrimack takes back over with a backhander. That never got through. Got tangled up in Bella Parento's skates. Hurst covering the point. Oosterveld sends it to her. Back down the wall for Engels. Engels. Straight away, Hurst a shot. Blocked out by Lewis, and it's out of the zone. Chang cycles back in. They're onside. Chang carries around on the backhand. Shadowed there by Malinkova. Left it for Qualley. Qualley leaves it for McKinley. McKinley looking to the point. Nothing was there, so reverse back down for Qualley. Qualley had to take it away. Malinkova stick handling dangerously in front of McPherson. Had the puck knocked away, and Merrimack takes back over. Centering pass right through the high slot, comes all the way back out. And Merrimack will have to chase this one down. Under 11 minutes to play here in the second period. Catamounts lead 2-1. McKinley taken away by Icos. Icos sends it wide for Parkkinen. Parkkinen pulls it off the wall and skates across the offensive blue line. Haley Icos has the untire right now. Beecher tips it to herself, but she lost the handle on her stick, got tangled up with Tedenby. Parkkinen for Icos, right back to Krista Parkkinen. Blaise Savoy with speed on the right wing. Defender backing off, so there's some time and space. Blaise Savoy, Mispled, couldn't capture that one on the backhand. Taken there by Ferguson. Alex Ferguson turned right into Julia Maspled. Maspled sent it out in front. Did Levesque pinching in from the point. Nice play by Skelton, dogging on the puck to keep it in for Vermont. Catamounts will get that line change complete. Levesque steps in front of Tidenby and just couldn't get to the puck as she was trying to step around her. Brochu. Now for Levesque. Midway through this contest, Catamounts with a 2-1 lead. This goes through everyone, but it was deflected by a Catamount opposite the red line, so no icing on the play, and that allows the Catamounts to get in on the forecheck. Brochu lifts the stick, but couldn't pull the puck through. Humphrey. Levesque going to pinch in deep. She lost the lumber, though. She's got to come back to the bench. Good job by Humphrey. Steers it back into no man's land, where Levesque would have been had she not been leaving the ice. Now Humphrey across the line, sends the hard around. Skelton heads into chase. Skelton and Chang come together. Puck stays for Brochu. Brochu couldn't sweep it through traffic. Brooke George steps in. She's had a nice game this afternoon as well. Very active in the offensive end with the puck, as many Catamount defenders are. Lewis for Malinkova, trying to squeeze off a shot block. Goes right to Lewis on the backhand save. Made, rebounds loose and cleared by Merrimack. Lifted past Lindbergh, and icing is waved off as Tansky and Lindbergh were side by side. Tansky leaves for Kaylee Lewis. Crisply ahead for George. George had Malinkova. Angles went off the wall. Malinkova's onside. Gisler bumps into her. They both go down. Osterveld backhands one through the middle. McKinley couldn't get to it. Haley Eikos. Free-flowing, whistle-free hockey here in the second period. Time ticks down to 8:03 left to play. Off the wall, Parkinen, a nice job to knife that one out of the air. That would have been a pretty decent breakaway for Osterveld. Eikos slings it around Hurst for Blaise Savoy behind the net. Blaise Savoy turns. Hurst with a good forecheck. Couldn't quite get the handle. Catamounts Beecher makes a nice move around one, and Beecher now with time and space to move through center. Beecher takes it wide on the left wing. Pitchforks it off the wall. Evans to it first, leaves it for Ingles. Back to Evans. Up ahead through the middle. Qualley's offside by a step. Boy, Levesque had just the right angle to make sure that that pass couldn't get through her without pulling Ingles or Qualley offside. 7:24 left to play in the second. Catamounts with an early second period goal take a 1-goal lead. Back at Gutterson Fieldhouse, 15th ranked Vermont with a 2-1 lead on Merrimack. 7:24 left to play in the first. Catamounts. And Merrimack will face off at center ice after that long pass. Came from opposite the red line for the offside, so the faceoff comes back to center rather than the neutral zone dot. Brochu wins the draw back for Podine. Podine gains the red line and dumps it in for the Catamounts. No shots on goal for Merrimack here in the second so far, and we've played just shy of 13 minutes of the middle period. Catamounts have had 7 shots on goal in the period to get to 16. Good chance here for Merrimack, though. Down low, backhand pass. Terrific defensive play by Sarah Levesque. Not only diving to take away the pass, but also end up knocking the puck free. Evans now. Engels ahead for Tidenby. Straight through McKinley. Fires a shot. That's blocked by Parkin, who got a skate on it. Malenkova long past Tansky. Tansky across the line. Good defensive play there to take it away. Malenkova right on the puck though. Swept it from Nemeth. That prevented Nemeth from getting cleanly out of the zone. Catamounts can recollect in their own end. That's taken now by Haley Eikos. Eikos has the Catamount goal here in the second period that untied it. Eikos cross ice past Tansky. Lewis just can't stay on side. She was trying to get around a Merrimack player as well as her own line mate Natalie Malenkova. Another timeout with 6:15 left to play here in the second. Catamounts 2, Merrimack 1.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter, a proud partner of the biggest name.
7 p.m. ESPN Plus will have that game for you. We'll be hanging out all night together for this Vermont doubleheader. Beecher trying to chop it free. Lifted up, Oosterveld. Chips it past Blaise Savoy and out through center. Ferguson on the forecheck, parking in, lost the handle. She spun away. Lindgren's able to take it. Lindbergh. Blaise Savoy stepped in front of her. Evelyn Blaise Savoy, strong skating through center, surrounded by a trio of blue sweaters. Sent it right back out to center. Eikos in and onside. Centering pass comes all the way through to Parento. Parento fakes the shot. Now Blaise Savoy, top of the circle, drives, blocker save, rebound left out front, another save made by Hogarth on the rebound. At the point, Zarconi. Beecher winds, fires, blockered out into traffic, and the rebound is cleared, but a whistle, going to be a hand pass on Merrimack. Nice play by Blaise Savoy. Parento got a chop at the rebound, but just couldn't get it past Callie Hogarth. Turning here, Skelton slings one high. Skelton on the forecheck, knocked it away from Nemeth briefly. Parento pinching in from the point, leaves it for Brochu. Humphrey covering the point. Back down Brochu, a little too far for her along the wall. Nemeth eventually to Ferguson, over the top for Lindbergh. Lindbergh got tangled up, I think maybe with the linesman, and that prevented Lindbergh from walking in, and that'll be an offside. Smooth flowing hockey through the first 12, but we've got another break, our final one of the second. Catamounts with all the shots on goal and the only goal here in the second, take a 2-1 lead. Laura Beecher, Hockey East Rookie of the Year a year ago in her sophomore season. Skating on a line right now with Julia Mispled and Evelyn Blaise Savoy. Face-off win. Levesque along the wall, pinching in deep. Active defense for the Catamounts tonight. Mispled forced off the puck. And icing here on Merrimack. I think the Merrimack bench was upset there was no penalty called on that bump. Also, I don't think we're happy that it ended up being an icing. Face-off win by the Catamounts. Kaylee Lewis turns. Back to the point for Podine. Sarah Levesque chasing this one in the right wing corner. Pinch in from the point. Natalie Malenkova with an assist on the Catamounts' first goal. Oosterveld chipped it off the wall past Stikos. Levesque sends it right back in. Catamounts touch up and get onside in the final 4:10 here of the second period. Knife down by Malinkova, no high stick, so play continues. Natalie turns and heads up ice. Malinkova makes a move around one, but just couldn't collect the puck. Gets tangled up with Gisler. They exchange happy holiday greetings and then peacefully separate to their own benches. Hockey greetings are a little different. Blaise Savoy to take the draw against McKinley. McKinley wins it. Turning his Nemitz, or Crows, pardon me. Crows all the way around and out. Qualley. Parkkinen steps in front of her. Fell down though. Qualley takes centering pass out in front. Chopped away from Chang. And the Catamounts turn up ice. Ahead now for Parkkinen leading the rush. Drops it for Blaise Savoy. Blaise Savoy dangles. Throws one at the net and a pad save made by Hogarth. Quickly ahead to Denby. Knocked off her stick. Julia Mispled taps it to the left wing wall. Tried to lift it, now settles it down. Fires a shot, glove save, and the rebound taken by Merrimack to the line, but not out. Parento back down low. McKinley taken away by Blaise Savoy. Blaise Savoy turns. Cuts through the middle, backhands it. Never got through to its intended target. The Catamounts have to regroup at center. Blaise Savoy backhands it in deep and comes off on a line change. Chang shadowed by Humphrey. Works it behind the net for Crows. Crows ahead. Brochu knocked that down. Brooke George will settle it down. Fires through Skelton. Brochu takes it off the wall. Rosemarie Brochu tried to cut toward the middle. Skelton comes in to take over. Maddie Skelton all the way around. Leaves it for Humphrey. Lily Humphrey tried to work it to George. Good job by McKinley. And McKinley feathers it around Brooke George. McKinley in, centers, and they score! Lindbergh on a 2-on-1 down low. As a breakdown by the Catamounts defensively ties the game with 2:20 to play in the second. Boy, Ferguson made a nice pass, but Brooke George was kind of caught in a dead zone on the ice, and she knew she couldn't hold up Ferguson because she'd take a penalty, but she was also too far away to turn and win the foot race. And Ferguson pounces on it, and on the 2-on-1 down low, Lindbergh scores to tie the game at 2. Evans, right side for Engels. Taken away by Lewis. So once again, Merrimack answers. That's their first shot of the period. And it was a good one. All the way across Tansky. Engels got to that first. Chop now for Malinkova. Malinkova into the middle. Lewis hooked down, no whistle. Play continues. Now Malinkova just below the goal line in the final 100 ticks. Evans spinning away from the forecheck of Lewis. Reversed it. A little too far for Engels. Engels threw the hip out, and Tansky went flying. Or pardon me, that's Sarah Levesque. And the Catamounts will get a late power play. Levesque is in some considerable pain. Referees are discussing, and they're going to go look at something here. I thought it was the kind of the shoulder that reached out, and I wonder if they're going to look and see if there's a shot to the head of Levesque here. Levesque goes down the tunnel for Vermont. She's still on her own 2 feet. I just wonder maybe if either referees Prim or Bergeron saw kind of an extension of the arm there as we get another look at it. That's Lewis here. Malenkova. And on the reversal, yeah, she does kind of reach that elbow out, but it looks like the contact was also with the leg. I just don't know what they're going to see here to do anything more than just the minor penalty. So they're still taking a look here. Catamounts and Merrimack all tied at 2. Merrimack with just one shot on goal, and it came at the 2:20 mark of the period when the goal was scored. It's going to be a minor for tripping. So kind of the arm being out by Ingles was just coincidental. The contact was made more with the leg. So the Catamounts to the power play with 1:28, trying to untie this game before the end of the period. They will have 32 seconds left of power play time to start the third period if they do not score here in the final 1:28. Blaise Savoy to take the face-off. Humphrey taps back to Parkkinen. Now Malenkova quarterbacking. Straight away, Parkkinen. Malenkova back to Parkkinen's one-timer. She scores! A power play goal for Krista Parkkinen. Her second tally of the game, and it gives the Catamounts a 3-2 lead. Malenkova just puts it on the plate, and Parkkinen hammers it home. So just like that, the Catamounts cash in on the power play. And with 1:18 left to go in the second, they take back a 1-goal lead. Catamounts led 1-0, 2-1, now 3-2. Blaise Savoy looking for the first 2-goal lead of the game. Chipped it for Beecher, but that was just over top of the stick. Blaise Savoy. Back to the point, Parkkinen. Ikos pinching in. 50 seconds left in the period. Hurst is onside with Oosterveld. Tried to center it. Ikos was in the way of that. Ikos backs it up now for Parkkinen. Parkkinen's second goal of the game has given the Catamounts a 3-2 lead. Malenkova picks up her second point of the game. Parkkinen's got a 3-point game. She had an assist on Haley Ikos' goal. That gave the Catamounts a 2-1 lead. 18 seconds left. Parkkinen in deep, squeezed off the play. Lifted out to center. Malenkova takes there. Malenkova backhands it behind the net. And she'd be wise to just put it in her pocket and let the final 2 seconds tick away, and she does just that. And that'll do it here in the second period. Catamounts scored the first and last goal of the period. Merrimack squeezed one in between. All added up. Catamounts still with a 1-goal lead at the end of 40. Vermont 3, Merrimack 2. We'll take a timeout. Out-of-town scoreboard highlights coming up in our second intermission next. Back live at Gutterson Fieldhouse. Catamounts back out on the ice as we get set for period number 3. Natalie Malenkova with the captaincy, leading scorer for the Catamounts in the top 10 all time in program history as well. And she's having a tremendous season. And she's got a couple assists here this afternoon. And that's the thing about Natalie. Yes, she can score goals, but she's a very good playmaker as well. Type of player that makes everyone around you better. 5-a-side hockey, no carryover penalties or power plays as we're down on the third period, with the Catamounts holding on to a 3-2 lead. Neither team has had a 2-goal lead, as that one's on net, so no icing. Ingles beat to the puck by Malinkova. Malinkova backed it up. Kaylee Lewis trying to step through, able to take it away from McKinley. Evans is there, steps in front with help from McKinley, takes it away from Lewis. Lewis bodies up Evans, now along the red line, trying to get it back out in front. McKinley buried Lewis into Malinkova. They separate. Meanwhile, the puck's back the other way. Chance for Merrimack. Backdoor McKinley just couldn't get a stick on it. Oh, tremendous pass work by Merrimack. They just can't cash in, as the Catamounts had 2 players stuck back in their own end after tumbling down into the crease. McKinley stepped in front of by Ikos. Ahead now for Malinkova. All the goals coming from the blue line for the Catamounts tonight as well. Parkinen with 2, Haley Ikos with the other. Zarconi up ahead now for Mispled. Julia Mispled still looking for her first career goal in her second season with the Catamounts. Last year cut short by injury. Parento backs it up for Blaise Savoy. Mispled, a sophomore, didn't get a chance to redshirt. She's bumped off the puck by Chang. And we have a penalty. They're going to get Chang on the hip. It's interference, and the Catamounts back to the power play. Chance to take the game's first 2-goal lead. So the Catamounts once again to the power play. Parkinen scoring on the last power play toward the tail end of the second period. Face-off win to Parkinen. Now Malinkova throws it through traffic, kicked aside by Hogarth. Lewis now off the wall. Back to the point, Malinkova able to keep it in. Malinkova with time and space. Blaise Savoy drops it back to Malinkova. Malinkova fires. That's deflected off the stick of Hogarth, who got a piece of it to keep that one from finding the top corner. Merrimack gets a clear, and the Catamounts regroup at center 30 seconds into their power play. Lily Humphrey skates to the near side left wing. Tried to center one, knocked off the stick, and back out to center. Catamounts 1 for 3 on the power play, with 4 shots on goal on their previous 3 power plays. Blaise Savoy, and cleared by Merrimack. Beecher with 40 seconds left to go on the power play for Vermont. Bella Parento. Zarconi left wing circle, a shot looking for the top corner, blocker to side by Hogarth, and then the rebound's chipped wide. Evans backhands it. Skelton couldn't get to it. Ingles does, and Ingles hammers it the length of the ice. McPherson takes a wobbly puck, kind of spun away from her big goal stick. 12 seconds left on the power play. Chance for one more Catamount rush. Beecher onside on the right wing as Skelton go to the net, fires a shot eye high and gloved by Hogarth, and she's able to hang on. Three seconds left on the power play. Chance for the Catamounts to win a draw and work the puck around a bit here before Merrimack's Chang gets back in the play. Chang looking to the bench to say, do you want me in the play or do you want me back at the bench? Face-off win by the Catamounts eventually. Tansky drops it for Julia Mispled. Chang's back into the play, goes right into the defensive zone and helps jar the puck loose from Mispled. And skating through now is Ferguson. Ferguson squeezed off by Podine. Tansky goes down. Puck squirts into the right wing circle, taken there by Mispled. Julia Mispled gains the red line, chips it in deep and gets on the go. Chases it down to the end wall. Evans steps in front of her, but Brochu's there to take it. Brochu and Ferguson come together. Mispled takes it away from them both. Fanned on a pass out front, was able to keep the puck. Drops down, leaves it for Parkkinen. Parkkinen for Tansky and a quick one-timer, and that's kicked aside by Hogarth. Evans now. A little bit of a broken play, and Callie Hogarth had to be sharp and ready as Tansky wasted no time just sweeping that one on net. Now Parkkinen. Parkkinen for Malenkova. Malenkova spins away from one. That's Husserveld. Malenkova lifts, collects to the forehand, takes it wide, got hooked, and drew a penalty. Catamounts right back to the power play. Eikos takes it back out to center. Eikos towards the empty nets. And Merrimack will finally touch it up and get the whistle. It's a hooking call, and the Catamounts once again will have the advantage. That is some stick handling magic by Natalie Malenkova to draw that penalty. Just so shifty and able to move left and right better than most. Catamounts now leading shots on goal 22-8. Just 2 shots on goal in all the second period for Merrimack. And at one point they led shots on goal 6-5. So it's been really lopsided since early in the first. Parkkinen working with a 2-goal night. GLACE Savoy into the right wing circle, stops, gets it back to Parkkinen. Parkkinen for Malenkova. Now GLACE Savoy back to Natalie Malenkova. Snapped the shot, never got through, and it's cleared by the Warriors. Long pass ahead from McPherson to Malenkova. Natalie Malenkova. Back out to the point. Parkkinen just couldn't knock that one down. Bounces off the stick and back out to center. 30 seconds gone in this power play for Vermont. 1 for their previous 4. GLACE Savoy. Sent it in deep. Right back out. Malenkova's got a chase at center. Good job by the Warriors getting to loose pucks and getting clears. Malenkova crisscrosses with Bella Parento and goes off the ice. Parento with 1 minute left on the power play. Starts the breakout for Vermont. Left wing side Zarconi. Zarconi stops, pulls it through for Skelton. Maddie Skelton. Back out for Zarconi. Bella Parento straight away. Right wing side Beecher. Back to Parento, creeping down to the dots in the circle. The shot, they score! Laura Beecher, a power play goal, and for the first time tonight, the Catamounts lead by 2. Boy, Beecher found the post, and the puck luck a little good here as it ends up bouncing in off of the elbow, giving the Catamounts a 4-2 lead. Second straight power play goal. Well, 2 out of the last 3, pardon me, for the Catamounts. And Vermont with a 4-2 lead. Eikos for Parkkinen. Parkkinen through center. Eikos pinching in, collects the puck. Brochu takes it off the wall. Engels steps into her. Brochu protecting the puck along the kick plate. Pops free. Eikos just couldn't get to it. Evans does, and Evans is able to skate out through center. Evans around Mispled. Sent one. Looking for Tidenby. Parkkinen. Behind the net, Brochu chips it back toward Krista Parkkinen. Parento picking up an assist as that long pass to Tansky chip. Zont will be back for this. Zarconi picks up an assist as well for Beecher. That is her 6th goal of the season. And her 12th point of the year. Sarah Levesque to Podine. Up the wall for Lewis. Lewis now for Levesque. Levesque sends it in deep. Burns trying to get to it first. Zott is there. Malinkova is there as well. Puck comes to Podine, pinching in along the half wall. Send it back out, looking to throw it through the blue paint. Merrimack collects and sends it all the way down. It makes the Catamounts lug it all 200 feet. Lewis chopped away from her, but no forechecking attack here as Merrimack's changing. That gives the Catamounts a chance to get out of the zone. They are stalled at the blue line in that process, and now they'll find Levesque, and Levesque with time and space will skate to center. Gains the red line and dumps it in, peels off for a line change. Hot off the bench is Beecher after scoring the power play goal that gave the Catamounts a 4-2 lead. Giveaway, Julia Mispled, back to Beecher, Beecher in, chopped the puck, and Hogarth got a pad on it. Mispled. In her 31st game as a Catamount, Julia Mispled has not quite registered a point yet. And you just feel it coming. She's skating well. And you got to suspect at some point she's going to get one. She's got the puck here. Mispled plays for the French national team. From Bordeaux, France, but went to Vermont Academy in southern Vermont. Again, had an injury-shortened freshman year. And only came back 7 games ago. This is her 8th game of the season. Engels took a high, heavy hit from Humphrey. Couldn't get her stick back. They shove a bit. Now Skelton in. Skelton around the net. All the way around, stops in the left wing corner, banks it behind the net for Brochu. Brochu for Humphrey, off her stick to Eikos. Eikos on the backhand. Ducks the shoulder around McKinley. Backs it up for Humphrey. Humphrey and Brochu crisscross. Turning and firing a shot that I'm not sure Hogarth saw until the last minute. May have glanced off the blocker. Brochu as the Catamounts continue to cycle. Defensive play by Niemes, able to knock it out to center, and the Catamounts once again will regroup. Eikos trying to backhand one toward Malinkova. Malinkova covering the point, waiting. Trying to force that turnover. Instead, it's chipped out to center. Ted Enby shoves a Catamount. Tansky. Puck pops free to McKinley, and McKinley can send it in. Merrimack once again, line change on for them, and they're very much in defend, dump, and change mode right now. Now here's a giveaway. Ferguson down low. Still looking for their first shot of the period. Halfway through, more than halfway through this third period. Zott pinching in from the point. Left it for Ferguson. Getting the way that was Malinkova. Podine there to help as well. Ferguson takes it. Levesque leans into her. Ferguson goes down in a penalty. Coming up on Sarah Levesque. I'm going to call it a trip as Levesque kind of reached out with the hands and took out the back of the legs of the Merrimack player. And Merrimack chasing 2 will have a chance here with 8:56 left to play in the third to cut the deficit to 1 with a power play when we come back to Gutterson Fieldhouse Hockey East on ESPN Plus and TSN. Catamounts here at home with a 4-2 lead, but some work to do on the penalty kill as Merrimack has a power play goal in the game. And they'll need another one here if they want to creep back into this one, put a little pressure on Vermont. Cats leading right now 4-2, but Merrimack Milinkovic to take the face off. Finally collected and controlled. Chang at the point for Merrimack. Through traffic, deflected just wide. Edmonds kicks it free for McKinley. McKinley to the point for Tidenby. Now it's Chang. Down low, quality a shot up high. Not sure if McPherson shrugged that one away or if it just missed. Chang for Quali again. Cross ice. Milinkovic active stick may have knocked that one away. Chang straight away. Right wing circle, Quali. Quali tried to send it behind the net, fanned on it. Edmonds trying to get to it. McKinley's there. McKinley taps it up for Tidenby. Wheels it back now for Chang. Chang for Quali. Quali. Good stick by Tansky to take that diagonal pass away and get a clear with 1:05 left to go on the power play for Merrimack. Long pass ahead. Onto the stick of Reed. Had the first goal for Merrimack here this evening. Oosterveld across, Ingles in. Ingles to the point now for Evans. Evans for Oosterveld. Evans now, Engels. Evans. Two players in front of the Catamount net. Catamounts doing a good job of not letting the puck get there. Down low, Reed couldn't collect the pass. Engels will in the final 25 seconds of this Merrimack power play. Good physical work by Blaise Savoy along the wall. Couldn't get the clear though. Merrimack continues to control. Evans at the point through traffic and a save made by McPherson, and there's no rebound. 10 seconds left to go on the power play for Merrimack. McPherson picks up just her 7th save of the game. That's the first shot on goal here in the third. And it's just shy of 13 minutes in. Jessie McPherson with an equipment issue right now. Strap that's around her skate had come loose. Tidenby to take the face off against Maddie Skelton. Tidenby's been playing the point for a lot of the power play. This time she gets into the dot. Catamounts win the face off and get a clear. 4 seconds left to go on the kill. Catamounts will have killed this one off. Back to 5-a-side hockey as Levesque's out of the box. Off of Quali, Ikos for Parkkinen. Parkkinen with a 2-goal, 1-assist night for the sophomore defender. Up ahead for Humphrey. A little bit too far behind her, and this will be an icing on the Catamounts. Cats win the face-off and nudge it ahead for Rosemary Brochu. Across the line with Humphrey going to the net. Brochu swings wide on the right wing, pulls up in the right wing circle and drops it off for Lily Humphrey. Humphrey now for Sarah Levesque, a shot and a save made by Hogarth, and she's able to hang on. 6:18 left to play, third period. We're at Gutterson Fieldhouse in Burlington, Vermont. The Catamounts, number 15 in the nation, have a 4-2 lead on Merrimack. Fall down and not know 20 song by Billy Joel. It's got to be one of those situations where they just don't know that it's Billy Joel singing the song. Like, that's the only possible way that that statement's true. Or, alternatively, I'm getting old. Long pass. Tanner Acebo is decades younger than I am, is saying, no, that's not possible either. Shot by Evans. Misses wide. Under 6 minutes left to play. Catamounts with a 2-goal lead. Merrimack did not score on their big power play they had. So they remain trailing by 2, but they've got a little momentum off of it. Good puck time here. Side of the net. Stuff attempt. Save made by McPherson. Another whack, and Jesse's able to hold on and get the whistle. Edmonds had come crashing in late. Hurst was there on the ice as well. So a lot of players trying to get a grimy goal to pull this thing to within 1. But McPherson stands tall. Keeps Merrimack off the board. Both goals for Merrimack, basically 2-on-1 goals that McPherson really had no chance on. Back to the point, Chang through traffic goes wide. Lindbergh. Reed chopped home a rebound in the first. Nemes fired a shot right into Haley Burns, and Burns comes up limping. Puck never got out of the zone. Merrimack stays in. Lindbergh drops it off, chopped down in front. Ferguson took a whack at it, but just couldn't get a piece of it. Beecher's out to center. Burns is going to come off now. Beecher working one-on-one. Beecher trying to go inside out on Chang, and the puck trickles in on goal, and Hogarth puts a stop to the play. 5 minutes, 1 second left to play here in the third period. Catamounts have their first 2-goal lead of the game at 4-2. Back live, Gutterson Fieldhouse. Rally Cat in the house. Double duty tonight for Rally. He's got to come back for the men's game tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have that for you on ESPN+. Our music table downstairs tells us that there are at least 2 members at the table that couldn't name 20 Billy Joel. 3 members that couldn't name. That's outrageous. That's impossible to believe. Might be time for a between-game education for the kids downstairs before tonight's men's game. Face-off win. And Captain Jack, piano man, uptime girl. Guys, come on. Sticked aside by Hogarth on a shot for the point by Ikos. Ikos started the second period with a goal on the power play, or rather even strength goal for Ikos. Humphrey ridden off the puck. Good defensive play by Merrimack. McKinley waits for this one to come around. Parkkinen keeps it in. Parkkinen looking for a hat trick. She's got 2 tonight. Ikos has 1, the other by Beecher. Pass was missed by the Catamounts, and back the other way comes Merrimack. A collision just inside the blue line. No call on that play as Ted Enby was taken down. More of a mutual collision than it was a check by other players, so the referees say play on. Onside Hurst. Osterveld cruising through the slot, goes behind the net, bumps with Levesque. This game's got an air of chippiness to it. Suddenly here late in the third period, that was not there in the first 2 periods. Elena Tansky through center. Tansky gets all the way to the red line and stops, reverses behind the net. Lewis takes a peek at the point, no one's there, so she sends it back around the net. Catamounts are in the midst of a defensive line change here. Parkkinen went off, Parento came on, and there's Zarconi now, as the Catamount D pairs are back out there. Malinkova, Lewis, and Tansky up front for the Catamounts. Kaylee Lewis onside across the line. The freshman weaving her way through the circle, fires a shot blocker down to the rebound, was gloved by Chang, and she nearly put it in her own net. Ferguson down the wall, sticked off the puck by Zarconi. Now Lindbergh. Lindbergh chopped away by Malinkova, and Malinkova will use this time to get a line change in the final 2:48 of this third period. Reeves' pass misconnects. Catamounts take it and send it ahead to Skelton. Burns now. Overskated a bit, is able to get it back. Trying to throw a backhand pass towards Skelton. That's broken up and taken free by Ferguson. Ferguson played it off the wall. Parkinen guided her off of the chase. And now Blaise Savoy cranks up the Jets. Evelyn Blaise Savoy with speed through the neutral zone. Blaise Savoy working 2-on-3. Takes it all the way around the net. Angles it back for Eikos, who couldn't kick it to herself. And that'll give Quali a chance to try and chase down Podine. Podine chips it past her. Stays on side though as Tedenby was able to get to it. But the Catamounts were able to take it back the other way. Eikos. In deep, hands for Podine. Catamount defenders all below the goal line right now. Eikos and Podine. Eikos will retreat back to her left point. And now will come off on a line change. Quali with Tansky back. Off the bench, Levesque. Tedenby back out in front. Quali chipped it wide. McPherson may have gotten a little bit of a stick and pat on that. McKinley rolls it back for Chang. 90 seconds left in the period. Catamounts with a 2-goal lead. To the bench is Hogarth. Extra attacker on for Merrimack, trailing by 2. Sarah Levesque ahead now for Malinkova. Left it for Lewis. Lewis and Nemez. Back for Chang. Parento chases down a player in the corner and picked up a penalty. So with 1:03 left to go, it'll be a 6-on-4 with the netminder on the bench for Merrimack, as Bella Parento will sit for the final 1:03 of this game. It's a cross-checking call. And we'll see who takes their timeout here. It is a timeout for Merrimack. So Hogarth to the bench in the final minute and a half. Bella Parento takes a cross-checking penalty. Catamounts lead by 2, but they'll be manpower-wise down by 2 on the 6-on-4. Catamounts out shooting Merrimack 29-10. And we'll have to survive a bit of a dicey final 63 seconds of this one. Catamounts will have time off between now and January 2nd. They'll reconvene against St. Mike's here at home. St. Mike's have been playing Division I for the last couple of seasons, new to the D1 scene with several other schools in their conference. St. Mike's still holding the distinction as the last Division II national champion in hockey. St. Mike's just down the road in Colchester. And they've got that Division II banner over at Carnes Arena, and not many others have one of those. Back in 2001, last time a D2 tournament was played, I believe. All right, Catamounts with a 2-goal lead here. Back to the point, Chang. Merrimack wins the draw. They've got a 6-on-4. Chang fires one high and wide. Back to the point, Tedenby. 53 seconds. Merrimack needs 2. Qualia shot. Glove save made by McPherson. She took an extra whack from Oosterveld, and the Catamounts take exception to that. Cats out shooting Merrimack 29-11. Vermont led 1-0. Merrimack tied it. Vermont led 2-1. Merrimack tied it. Vermont then went ahead 3-2 and then 4-2. And that's where we stand. Krista Parkinen, 2 goals and an assist. Parkinen on the ice now. Quali's able to take it in the corner. Dials it back to Chang. Chang. Cross ice, Tedenby. Gets it back top of the circle and through her stick and out of the zone. Merrimack's got to hustle. They've got 30 seconds. They need 2. Malinkova squeezes off Quali. Catamounts couldn't clear McKinley down low. Tried to center it, blocked by Levesque. Lifted around the wall. McKinley to the point. Tedemmi's one-timer missed. Tansky clears, but it's wide. No icing as the Catamounts are killing off a penalty. 8 seconds left. Chang, long pass ahead, connects. One hammer shot save. Parkkonen's got the rebound, and that'll do it. The Catamounts end 2023 with a 4-2 win over Merrimack. It wasn't easy at times, but Rally Cat can wave the W. Krista Parkkonen, a 2-goal, 1-assist night for the sophomore defender, leads the Catamounts to a 4-2 win against Merrimack here tonight. Catamounts pick up a big 2 points in Hockey East play. They go a game above 500 at 7-6-0 now in Hockey East play, and will head into the holidays and the new year with a win in their back pocket. For the cast and crew here